with us tonight. So
yes.
Thank you.
I'm excited to speak to you guys.
Okay. Let's see. We've got 10 people. It's a couple minutes past 6. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to introduce you guys to Danielle. She is a 3-times elite, 8-star diamond coach with 1-star qualifying in her second CBC, which is incredible. And she has built her business through building her family at the same time, which is really exciting because we have a lot of people on our team that are in that same stage of life where you're growing your family and you want to grow your business. So just real quick before I hand it over to Danielle, I want to remind you guys that Team Cup is in full swing. I want you to make sure you're checking in with your teams every day, that you're in like group chats, you're encouraging each other and doing what you can to help build each other up, because this is your business building Team Cup. That's what this is all about. And don't forget that this is our last month for the All Access Challenge Pack. And it's such an incredible deal. Make sure you're sharing that and talking about it and letting people know about the opportunity that we have. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Danielle. And let's see, here you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. I was honored when Mindy asked me to speak for you guys. And I don't think I've ever spoke for her team before, so I'm very honored, and I greatly respect her and all that she's accomplished. So yeah, this is a treat, and just excited to speak to you guys and just share my story and my heart and where I am right now in my life, which is craziness. But just to kind of give you a little bit about, why I joined Beachbody and my history and story real quick. 4 years ago, my family was struggling financially. I was out of shape, like most people coming into this, and I had my 2 girls. They were young. They were both in diapers. One, my little Sadie, my first one, she was, I think, 8 or 9 months, and Emmy was over a year, 8 months apart. So back-to-back C-sections. Life was crazy. My husband and I were working crazy hours, stressed out financially. It's just like a new family getting started and, trying to find your wings in a rat race of life, I call it. And that was us. And so one of my hair clients told me about this awesome opportunity with Beachbody to get in shape, share your journey. And I saw her posting about it on Facebook. And I had already been drinking this Vega One shakes that I was buying on Amazon. I was adding stuff to it. It didn't taste good. And I just was like, I think I've heard Shakeology. Let me try it. I needed more energy. I was still living off of coffee too at that time. So obviously that shake was not doing anything for me. And I was just working so much, but I was going to a boot camp style working out of the house, and it was so much money. I couldn't afford it, but I was dying to get back in shape after I had the girls. And I just remember one morning leaving the house and saying, I don't want to leave my girls. I'm really not getting the results from this boot camp. And it was kind of like an Orange Theory, just like a circuit boot camp training. And I told my husband, I don't want to pay for this anymore. I'd rather work out from home because of this Beachbody thing that I took a leap of faith on and tried. And, seeing results from this. So I quit that. I quit the gym. I was paying for a gym too. I mean, as much as we were paying, it was so much more than we're paying now, which is crazy. But I did Insanity. It completely changed my mind, my body, my spirit, everything. I just was a changed person. I mean, I had abs for the first time ever in my life. I don't have abs now, being 8 months pregnant, but I felt incredible. And I just started sharing. I mean, my hair clients were asking me what I was doing, and I naturally just started sharing. And it just started to happen. I saw this opportunity that I can bring my family from a place of debt, arguing, with my husband about money every day, couldn't take vacations, financially drowning. It was really stressful. And I kind of look back at that, I'm like, was that our life? You know, because I just can't believe we were living like that for a while. And then this awesome opportunity completely changed our life. I mean, 4 years later now, we're not in debt. We don't argue about money. We feel more secure about the future financially. And there's so much more that comes along with that. And I'm going to share the inside, the good and the bad. And sorry if my voice sounds a little scratchy. I think I'm coming down with a cold. But life was crazy 4 years ago, took a leap of faith and completely changed our life from doing many tips that I'm going to share with you and being completely raw and honest. And I know Mindy wanted me to share with you guys, you know, how I did all of this with 2 kids, starting out with them in diapers, working, doing hair full time, my husband working full time, and even, you know, overtime, trying to make ends meet, to being, you know, an elite 3-time coach. And now I have another one on the way. So it's even crazy. How do I balance this? How do I have time management? How do I not let excuses get in the way? How do I, you know, just freaking do it, I guess you could say. And my first response in my head when she asked me was, you know, looking at myself, you know, what can I share? If there is a will, there is a way, right? I had a will 4 years ago to change my family's life. And I had a big vision, and I had this why that made me want to cry once I found it. There's going to be a way. There's always a way. And, you know, after I started reading success books and listening to Danny Johnson and just getting every piece of success, you know, tool and personal development in my face, I realized that every single successful person on the face of this earth, they make it happen. They just do. There is no excuses. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. They just find a way around the problem. Like, they find a solution. If there's a roadblock in front of them, you better believe they're going to find every way to just go around it and not just sit there and complain that the roadblock is in front of them. They're just going to think positive. How can I get around this roadblock? So that's what I started to begin to do. I had to change my mind because I was in that small mind mentality where I thought that was normal, to be in debt, to be stressed, to fight with my husband about money, to not be able to take vacations, things like that. I thought that was normal. So I had to change my mind. I had to go through a lot of failure. So a lot of people see all this success and that beautiful the accolades that she just mentioned, but I've had so much failure. All that success sounds great, but I've had 10 times more failure that people don't see behind the scenes. I've had coaches dropping out. I've had people say no to me all day long. I've had, you know, every objection and no you could think of. Unsupportive family, unsupportive spouse in the beginning. I've had it all, right? But I just kept going with this relentless pursuit that, you know, I'm going to do this for my family and for my why. And it took time to get my husband on board. It took time to really say, this is what I want. But if, you know, I knew that in my heart that if there was a will, there is a way. And I realized early on too, with all of those failures and things that I've had thrown my way, I was going to have to make sacrifices. So I kind of want to just do a little visualization right now and just think in your head, you know, do you see yourself being very successful with Beachbody? Because I saw that right when I started, when I began to open my mind through personal development and saw my coach's success and other people's success, I started to open my mind to believe and to see that this was possible. And I created this vision in my head that I could do this. If other people could do it, I could do it. So think to yourself, do you believe in yourself? Do you see yourself being successful? Because that plays a really big role in you being successful here, you going all the way, you know, you having that strong mindset that no matter what comes your way, you're going to get past it. You're going to get through it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. I mean, it's a constant daily battle to dig my head in personal development and to pray and to really stay mentally right with everything that life throws me. But, you know, you have to really decide. It's a decision. And it's you making sacrifices. So in the beginning of this, you know, I sat with my husband because I hear so many women that say their husband is very unsupportive. And I got him on board. I made him commit to a program because I wanted him to become an advocate. And he just, didn't join, didn't join me for a long time. It was maybe a good 6 months to a year for him to really commit to his first program. Excuse me. And once he did, he was a believer. Once he went to his first event, just like a coach, right? He became a believer. So I think the faster you get your spouse on board, the more support that you have, to go on this journey. But with time, I made sacrifices as well. I knew that I was going to have to get up before my girls woke up, right? They woke up super early at like 6:30 at that time. So I had to wake up at the crack of dawn. I had to stay late. I had to make sacrifices. But I want to read to you a post that I did a couple days ago. Let me just get it up real quick. And it's in my book that I'm reading right now. It's a devotion called The Best Yes. It's a faith-based book, that's what makes me tick. That's what I need to keep going to fuel me. Everybody needs, something different, what they need. But this is just about life and about us women living in a high demand life, trying to make all these priorities in line and how to say yes to the right things and make the right decisions with still being who we are created to be. So I just wanted to read this to you. I'm a big personal development person, so it's just a couple sentences, but it's about, how the same thing Mindy asked me to speak about. How did I do all this? Like, how did, I make it work with my girls? How are you going to make it with your crazy life and your schedule? Okay. So I started to post off because it's true, this made me think about, being busy and fitting this in, being successful. I see many women that say, they're going to try harder, or they're going to dream more, or even work themselves to death to get to where they want to be. And that isn't the answer. And it's true in Beachbody. I see so many women who say that they want this, they're going to work harder, they're going to do all this. But in reality, that's not the answer. If you want to change, you have to change the approach to the way you make decisions, because the same patterns will produce the same results. The same habits will lead to the same decisions, and the same decisions will keep you stuck. I love that. A woman who lives with the stress of an overwhelmed schedule will often ache with the sadness of an underwhelmed soul. But what if you were audacious enough to actually schedule time to work on those first steps to getting to that dream? Things will begin to shift in the direction you want them to. The decisions you make determine the schedule you keep. The schedule you keep determines the life you live, and how you live your life determines how you spend your soul. So I love that. The decisions you make determine the schedule you keep. So in the beginning of this, it was a decision I had to make. I knew that I wanted more kids than the 2 kids that we had in diapers. I knew that I wanted to be successful. I knew it was going to take sacrifice, but it was a decision. So let me ask you guys, are you, deciding that you want this, that you're going to make it a priority in your life? Because if you haven't made that decision 100% to be all in, I feel like you're wasting your time. I got to be honest with you. I don't believe that you can be super successful being lukewarm at something, halfway in, halfway out. It really takes you to decide, make that decision, because as you slowly tweak your decisions, you're going to see a major improvement in your business, obviously, with what we do, Success Club and recruiting coaches and, your power hour, things like that. You guys have all heard about that. But when you start to shift your decisions to, I'm going to make this a priority every single day. This is just my life now. This is embedded in my schedule. Things will begin to shift in the way that you want them to go. I hope that makes sense to you. It's a decision. So, when life started to happen to me, and life has happened on this journey. So I'll just give you just a little glimpse. It was a little over a year into the business. My father passed away. And I do share this openly and honestly because it's a part of me and my journey. and my story, but it was a really hard time. He was in and out of hospitals, rehab centers, with cancer, and it was crazy time for about 4 to 6 months. But I still brought my laptop during those times to be there to comfort while he was sleeping. I was working on invites. That was my decision to my family, that I was still going to do this no matter what. Life had to go on. Unfortunately, under crazy circumstances, life had to go on. And it was, like I said, a very hard time, but I still showed up every day. I still got Success Club. I have yet to miss Success Club in the almost, I believe, 50 months that I've been a coach. So that was the decision I made. And so I wasn't going to back down to that. Yes, life got crazy during that time. Like I said, I don't want to ever paint this beautiful, perfect picture for you, because during that time, I was an emotional mess. I almost got on anxiety medicine at the doctor. I was having a nervous breakdown. It just was crazy at home, but I still made it happen. It was a decision, okay? The decisions you make determine the schedule you keep. The schedule you keep determines the life you live. So it's really important, that deciding factor, just like Beachbody, right? Decide, commit, succeed. What else? My second Success Club trip, I went through a major move, selling my house, moving to my mom's back home, which was really stressful. Really didn't get along with her at the time, living with her. And then, trying to buy another house, just very stressful time for a good 6 months. Still work my business, worked out every day in my mom's living room, got my stepfather on board. I mean, it's just another crazy time. My husband and I wanted to kill each other during that time. Our whole life got shooken up. And now being pregnant, my business took a toll in August. I got sick being pregnant. And I had never been on this journey being pregnant, because my girls, they were in diapers when I started this journey. But it was really hard because I was super nauseous for 3 months. I lost all my momentum in my business in August. And I, for the first time, the second time, Success Club 10. And it was hard because I let myself down. I let my business down. I didn't feel good. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I completely shut down. And looking back, I'm happy it happened, because it made me want to get back to it. It reignited my fire when I built my momentum up again. But again, it just shows that life happens, but I made a decision that I was going to do this. So, and then I realized that I could reach a whole new market of moms and pregnant moms doing this. And so I was going to make the best of it. I was going to, go with it full force. And even though I could be proof of the product, showing other pregnant women and moms and families that you can do this, but it's just in a different way. And so I was very worried about this in the beginning, and it ended up to be amazing. I actually grew my business even more during the time after I was sick, and ended the year strong. But it was really hard. Again, life happened, many things, even, besides all this, even more so life happened. But it was a decision that I made. And someone always said to me, and it stuck with me, that, somebody is going to be busier out there, right? Somebody is going to be with 4 or 5 kids. Someone's going to be with 2 jobs, and they're still going to be making ends meet, and they're still going to be on their way to the road to success. So, I'm a big fan of Dani Johnson, and I read most of her books, and man, she was homeless. She became a millionaire. I mean, crazy the things she's accomplished. And so that was my first book, actually, after GoPro. It was The Spirit-Driven Success, and then First Steps to Wealth. And, she just inspired the heck out of me. If this woman could do it, with coming from her situation, I could do it. There's so many other people. I mean, look, on our team, we see people every day making this work, and they just decide that they're going to do this for their family. So I think you've got to get a clear vision. You got to decide. You got to make sacrifices. I'm going to give you some more tips and get into that. But just know there's always someone out there that is so much busier than you making this happen. Like the top 10 coaches, even the top 50 coaches of the company. they have life going on. Their life is not perfect whatsoever. I've even, seen some of behind the scenes and talked to other coaches, and, they all have life going on. They just made the decision that, their why was important. They made the decision that, and I did too early on, that, no matter what happens, that my will for change was going to be greater than my fear of failure. And so I love that. That always kind of stuck with me. And of course, it's a quote somewhere I read in some success book, but you just have to have that burning fire for your change, the change in the future that's going to happen. And that was my big driving force. Expect the expected, right? You have to expect life to happen. Expect your kids to get sick. Expect your husband to come home in a bad mood. Just expect the worst. And then you could just hope for the best and keep moving on. I'm a very positive person. It's not always easy. Of course, personal development keeps my mind right, but I expect things to go wrong so that when they go wrong, I can face it, full on, and I can do the best that I can possibly do with what I can control. Control the controllable, right? I can control getting Success Club and recruiting coaches. I can't control other people. So I'm going to expect all my coaches to drop out. I'm going to expect nobody to get Success Club, right? I'm going to control what I can control. It's another great advice, is always control what you can in this business. But during my hard times, during this journey and just in life, I leaned into the problem. I leaned into, if my kids were sick, I leaned into, my father passing, leaned into all of those things that I told you. And I really grew as a person. I think I grew spiritually and mentally and physically, emotionally. So, if life happens to you and it's getting in the way of you becoming successful as a coach here, lean into those times and just know it's for a reason. I feel like God's growing you to get to the next level, to elevate yourself, elevate your mind, and think differently. So if I didn't go through those things, to be honest with you, I would not be the same. I wouldn't be speaking on this call probably. I've become strong-minded because of those hardships in my life. And I know Mindy can probably attest to that. I've seen her story. She's inspired so many thousands and thousands of people, but she's probably not the same person she was years ago, right? So if life happens to you, it's getting in the way of you doing Beachbody and being successful, just know you're growing, but you can't give up. You can't go backwards, right? Or else you're saying your why isn't strong enough. Your why isn't worth it. So for me, my why is my girls and my husband, Justin. And I would basically be saying during those hard times, backing away from this, that they are not worth it. They are not worthy of me helping our family get ahead and creating this wealth for our family that, I never thought was possible. We deserve that. They deserve the best life ever. And I feel so honored that I can give it to them, because look at this awesome opportunity that we have, at our fingertips. So I just want to share just a little bit about events. I'm going to my 4th summit in July, and I'm bringing my baby. I kind of don't have a choice, but I'm bringing my 3.5-month-old baby, almost 3.5 months. And I'm going to make it the best of it, right? I remember last summit, I saw so many other moms there with their babies, and it's not ideal. I would have liked to, but like I said, life happens and you just roll with it, right? A lot of times I see kids, or parents or moms, they stop themselves from progressing in this journey because of kids. I can't show up to a Super Saturday because I have a kid. I can't go to this event because I have kids. No, bring them with you. Get a babysitter. If there's a will, there is a way. Okay, the baby, I'm going to make sure the baby's sleeping most of the time so I can take notes, or having Justin go bring the baby around as I'm in the seminars. I mean, these events are like life-changing. I've had so many aha moments at every single event I went to, and after I got back, I grew my business that much more. So I'm going to find a way. Being a mom, my 3rd child, I'm bringing my child, okay? It's not ideal, but it's happening. But my 1st summit, so much happened during that time, and I still show it up. I had a major surgery. I had my father, I think passed right like a week before, and I still showed up. But I hit some crazy milestones in the business. Despite those life happenings, I continued. And right after Summit, I saw my income grow. I saw, I was able to replace my hair income. I was able to retire doing hair, being a hairstylist, to do Beachbody full time. So I was able to do all these things right after I got over those crazy little bumps in the road. And my second and my third summit, something kind of shifted. I became more of a seasoned leader, and I saw I saw the whole thing from a different perspective. I saw, coaches getting back from their first summit and quitting right and left and leaving this business. And I was very discouraged. Each time I left the second and the third, I remember was like, why do people give up so easily? What they set out to accomplish. If they would have stuck with it after that second and third summit, imagine everything more they would have accomplished. Imagine if they would have showed up to that summit. Imagine if they would have gotten Success Club after those summits. They would have been, even more successful, getting that much closer to their vision, So I had a hard time with that, but I realized during that time that you just have to work with those that show up, those people that are in the same track as you. Work with the willing, and those people that actually really want it as bad as you, they are going to be the ones to help you grow your income, run with you. And the people that ran with me ever since my first, second, and third summit that are still here, those are the ones that produce 80% of my income at this point. So, I've grown to kind of let go of the ones who don't want this and help the ones that do want it. But I realized, during that time, they were just letting go of, the goal that they set out for. And I know that they regret it. I know that life got to them, and they'll be back, right? Some of them are back, right? I had a cousin for my first summit, and she kind of dropped out after that, and she's back. It's been like 2 years later, but what if I would have let life get to me and dropped out? She would not be back, and now she's signing up for trainings. She's super into it, getting Success Club. So there's hope, guys. There's hope for people. But if you don't stay consistent, if you don't show up during the hard times, being a mom and going through life, right, then how are these people going to come back to you? It's kind of like the circle of life. Eventually, people do come back, the ones that want it, and they're ready. They're ready when they're ready. And that's a really cool thing, too. I loved them where they were at. I respected their decision. Yes, I was discouraged and sad that they let life get to them, because it's not easy, of course. It's easy to say, don't let life happen to you, but in that moment, it's not easy. But they came back, and that's all that matters. But if I didn't stick with it and stay consistent, who knows? Who knows? They would have went to somebody else, So don't be discouraged if people leave you or fall off. They're going to come back, right? We have the best stuff. This is the solution to everything. That's what I tell myself, and that is true. You have to do more if you want better results. Do more than expected to get better results. That was it. So yes, how do I stay motivated at this point, right? I am 8 months pregnant. I have 2 girls in school. Life is still crazy, right? I would be lying if I said my life is just so perfect with a white picket fence and everything's great. How do I stay motivated? Still not wanting to work out because I'm big and uncomfortable. How do I manage with my girls and dinner time and homework and attention to my husband and taking care of this house and just life? Well, I have to decide every day that I'm going to do the best that I can possibly do, but I'm going to show up. Even if it's for 20, 30 minutes, I am still going to show up. Today, it's been a crazy day. I have barely looked at anything, but I still got things done before I left the house. I got an extra 30 minutes in. After this call, I'm staying up late, probably an hour, to get things in, to check my messages, check my emails, But every day I have to do something, or else I did not show up to my business. So I have to do a little power hour. And for me, that's a solid hour. So I always do 30 minutes in the morning, checking in my challenge groups, drinking my shake, eating healthy, at least the 80-20 rule throughout the day. My workouts, I've been slacking, but I try at least 2 to 3 times a week. I know it doesn't seem like much, but for me, that's a lot being pregnant right now and barely, getting out of bed, and I'm aching all over the place and very hormonal. So I know too much information. But you have to do more than expected to get motivated. I'm self-motivated at this point. I don't need anybody knocking on my door telling me, are you working? Are you drinking your shake? Are you reading? Are you doing anything? No, you have to be your own motivation. So I read personal development every single day. To me, that's more important than a workout, because if I'm not right in the head, it doesn't matter working out. I need to keep my mind right in order to help other people. So I am my number one priority when it comes to taking care of myself. And you should too. I mean, during that time in August when I fell off my business, guess what? If I didn't stay mentally right, I would not have been able to get back on this journey, on this train. So I lost momentum, but I also was able to pick that momentum back on by staying self-motivated during that time. I still had a fire in my gut saying, I'm going to do this. I'm just sick in bed with my laptop. I didn't want to sit at a desk or sit on the couch. I had to literally lay in bed with my ice chips. But let me tell you, you just have to be your own motivation. You have to be getting the best results, trying your hardest to just be proof of the products and, do the 4 vital behaviors. You just have to be doing more than expected to get better results. And that goes for, that translates into Success Club and recruiting coaches and all of that. And I'm just going to give you some practical ways that, I have grown my business, just some tips on things maybe I wish I would have done sooner in my business. Or some things that, maybe a new coach needs to hear, or maybe someone that has fallen off needs to hear. How can you get back on? Or for the busy mom that's trying to make this coaching business work, what are some basic, simple things that you can do, practical ways to move your business forward? And these are things that I do just effortlessly every single month. It's non-negotiable to me. It took time to get good at it. But guess what? Every amateur, right? Lots of practice until they become a pro. I always tell my girls, practice makes perfect. So the same goes for this business. You're not going to start out knowing it all. You're not going to be the best during pregnancy or, being a mom. Life is going to happen. Life's going to happen. But a little bit every day has changed my life. It's changed my business. It's changed my finances. It's completely changed my team's life, the ones that have ran with it. So number one is you have to make sacrifices. And I think I said that earlier, but with your time and with your finances, okay? The time, like I said, at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. If you don't do anything in a day, you're not showing up to your business. Even on Sunday, I give this 30 minutes to an hour a day. The days that I work this is when the girls are in school from 8:30 to 2. I'm pretty much working my business during that time from Wednesday to Friday. Saturday is more like an hour or two, and Sunday the same thing, an hour or two. Monday and Tuesday, my husband is off. And he is very demanding. We're getting life done, going to Costco, doing house stuff. So it's Tuesday. I barely got any done. But I know tomorrow, you better believe, I'm just sitting at my computer and I'm getting a major power hour done. And I'm locking in. I'm at Success Club 3. I'm going to lock in at least another challenge pack or 2. So time and finances is what you need to sacrifice. My finances, in the beginning I had to budget Shakeology in. Right now I'm taking Jesse Reagan ads training and light page training, things like that. Of course it's a write-off, but that's part of our budget and making a financial sacrifice. If I want to grow and get to the next level, I need to sign up for the trainings. There's a push to diamond coming with Diesel Nation on the 20th. It's $20. Get in, sign up as soon as possible. That's another great resource to grow your business. So little things like that I took advantage of in the beginning. I was doing my business for probably 6 months from my phone. I had to sacrifice saving money and buying a laptop. That was a major sacrifice, and then paying it off. Because I put it on a credit card because I just didn't have it. But I paid it all off once I got the money. The second one is get your spouse on board. It was impossible to do this business in the very beginning with an unsupportive spouse. It was hard. So my main goal was to prove him wrong, everything that he would say, and, you know, get him on board to do a program and become an advocate. And he did. Once he did, I felt like I can be myself. I felt like I can really run with this business even more so. And now he's like my accountant. He's doing all our taxes. He set up a corporation. Like, he knows everything about the business now, which is amazing. I just could focus now on what I love doing, which is talking to people, getting Success Club invites and all of that. So get your spouse on board as soon as possible. Number 3, get out of your freaking comfort zone. I feel like I can't stress this enough. In the beginning, I held myself back from doing live calls, from doing sneak peeks, from, you know, getting on the phone with people. And I started doing it early on, but not early on enough. And I'm teaching my coaches, as soon as they do this, get on the phone with people. As soon as you see someone's interested, just say, do a 5 minutes. Can I get on the phone with you? It's really easy, I think, to get sucked into the social media world of, you know, you being a little avatar on Facebook, but I feel that's not going to grow your business. You need to really have that one-on-one contact with someone and make this a real business, right? You're a health and fitness coach. Let people hear that excitement, that energy, and that fire that you have. That's how they sign up. It's not through just the links that you're sending. So get out of your comfort zone and do those things that, you know, that are going to stretch you. So if you want to be a 5-star, right, you want to make $1,000 a week, or you want to be a 1-star, a 2-star, you've got to start doing what those leaders do. They are totally out of their comfort zone, running trainings, talking to people, getting together with people in the community, things like that. And the next one is don't get complacent. So in the beginning, I thought my superstar team was going to help me get to like 15-star diamond, and little did I know they were all going to run away. And my advice is to don't ever settle. I know it kind of sounds bad. Don't settle with the team that you have, but you want to just always keep searching for your next superstar in your team. You know, expect someone to run away because they had life happen to them. Maybe they can't deal with life happening, right? And that's okay. Everyone deals with it differently. But you need to just never settle with the team that you have. Never settle with just success before at the second to last day of the month and give up. Never settle with just recruiting one coach a month. If you want this, why are you just settling? You know, why are you just stuck in one place getting the same results every month? Push a little harder, set bigger goals for yourself, and believe, have confidence that, you know, you deserve to get to that next level and not stay at Emerald and not stay at, you know, Diamond. You have to get beyond that if you're all in here, right? You made the decision. The next is Success Club. You hear this all the time, right? The highest earners on my team that are bringing in full-time incomes, one is about to hit a 6-figure income, one just hit a 5-figure income. These girls, non-negotiable Success Club every single month. And it's not just Success Club 5, 10, they're getting 20 plus a month. Of course it takes work. It takes hard work and finding these new people, but they are constantly getting Success Club. They're just on YouTube. They're being resourceful. That's one of my another tips way at the bottom is be resourceful. They're on YouTube. They are searching for how to expand my network, talking to new people, just watching every coach video on how to get Success Club. And then they duplicate and teach their team the same thing. The next one is reaching out to top producers in your downline. So I learned this very early on from Christine Dwyer at my first Star Diamond leadership retreat. And I don't know who asked her, some corporate guy said, how did you grow the biggest network in Beachbody? And, you know, little nuggets like that stick out to me. I have a very selective memory when it comes to like facts and quotes and statistics. And she said, anyone who gets Success Club or has a high PV Every week I'm looking at numbers and I reach out to them and I cheer them on. I show love on their posts. I get on calls with them, even if they're not my PS coaches. And I think I was only a coach for about a year at the time. That stuck with me. So every time I see someone on the board, right, they have a high number or success club, I'm reaching out to those people and I'm just saying, way to go. I'm so proud of you. That's at the top of my power hour list every week. I mean, that cannot slip through the cracks. Those are people that produce 80% of your income. So reaching out to those people, they deserve it. They need a shout out. You know, what if their coach isn't shouting them out and they end up quitting because they don't have support? You know, at least they know their upline was cheering them on, and we all need a pat on the back. Sharing the coaching opportunity, right? We've all heard this, but this changed my business when I started sharing those, you know, deep down crazy things about struggling financially and, you know, like Beachbody strengthening my marriage, you know, because of, you know, what this has provided. People started to come to me. I was attracting people that had a bigger vision as well and had these issues. And I was able to kind of give them light as to this can be the answer. But if I didn't share those things, if I didn't share about coaching, I wouldn't have attracted those strong people to me. So just know, if you are not sharing, you know, coaching, there's going to be somebody else in your time, in their timeline, and they're going to go to them, you know. So think about that. Are you a fitness person on your timeline, or are you a coach, or are you kind of a mixture? You know, go and evaluate. I always tell my coaches to evaluate their timeline, and I do it on one-on-one calls. I'm just looking at their timeline the whole time, and I critique it, and I tell them, you got to share coaching. You're not sharing it enough. That's the reason why you're probably not recruiting. And I also look at personal messages and have them copy and paste so I can really see and dig in conversations what's going on. Expanding your network. I talked about this with my leaders. This is really big. I teach them early on to do a free group to start, you know, getting momentum, helping people for free, so that, you know, that builds that trust and that relationship. And so, you know, after they get Success Club for the first 3 months, if that's their goal, to get a summit ticket, it doesn't feel like their network has kind of dried out if they have all these, you know, people to talk to that have been kind of on this little journey with them starting out. So I have them run a group with me to get Success Club, and then I also always have them do a free group every single month besides our group. And sometimes I'll have them invite their prospects to my free group, but I usually like to keep my free groups just my groups so I can really build relationships with these new people. But if we're not expanding our network, we're running dry. We're preaching to the same choir, you know? And I know so many people have heard the same story that I share and other coaches share, and it's just like repetitive. But these new people that you're bringing in your network, they need to hear your story a certain amount of times to join you. You know, GoPro says that, 4 to 6 exposures, so people start to really want to reach out to you and want to sign up. So that's always stuck with me. You need a plan of action every month. So before the month starts, I'm always looking at my big calendar saying, what am I doing next month? Melanie Mitchell taught this, I feel like, to the work when I went to the New Leader Conference a while back, the first one they had. And she just shared her, you know, her advertising, her marketing plan, and it was genius. You know, you promote, you know, your new coach training is the first week. Then, you know, your second week, your challenge group is going on. And like the last week, you would do a sneak peek so that all of the people say, you know, in your challenge group, you can work them into the sneak peek. And it's just like a cycle every single month. And that helps you kind of with your posting every month. And so that's what I've done for the past 2.5, 3 years, is just follow a calendar of when everything is. And I share that with my team to help them duplicate that as well. But just a plan. When is your challenge group? Break it down. Very simple. It should be mid-month. Depending on when you do them, my team, we always do it mid-month to lock in Success Club. We do a sneak peek or live call at the end of the month. We try to all team up or team up as leaders. But there's always a plan of action, right? You don't have a plan. It's just kind of like a wish or a dream that you want to accomplish this, but it's not going to happen because there's no concrete plan. There's no reverse engineering. There's no action or goals being set. So you always want to sit down the month prior and say, what am I going to do for February? What is the theme of my group's going to be? What free group am I going to do? It takes maybe 30 minutes to an hour to strategize, right? Strategize with your sponsor, by yourself, I mean, whatever. And I'm sure your upline, of course, you have amazing upline, will help you. Like, what can I do to be successful this month or next month? Connect with your coaches. So say you have one coach, say you have 5 coaches, say you have 20 coaches. You need to be connected with them, right? That's how you build that camaraderie and that awesome team. And I'm sure, yes, Mindy, all of the top leaders of Diesel Nation schedule one-on-one calls with their coaches. So I just have a link with Acuity scheduling, and it's just in my PS page, and my coaches just schedule it. I don't chase them. I don't annoy them. If they want to schedule a call, it's there. It's in a file, and they just know to go there. But during these one-on-one calls, I can set goals. I can, remind them of their why. I can help them with that action plan and kind of spell out our team action plan, our calendar that's in our PS page as the cover photo of what they need to start advertising for and how to map out their month. So just connect with them, even if you haven't gotten to that level of creating a big action plan or a cover photo. Just connect with them, every couple of weeks. Like, what are you up to? How can I help you hit success level? Let's do a one-on-one call. This is something to feel connected. This is about relationship building, not just with customers, with our coaches as well. 2 more is keeping your mind right with personal development. Like I said, during those crazy times in my life and Beachbody career, I would say if I did not keep my mind right in personal development, forget it. Like, I would have lost it during all the crazy times, and all of it. So the top coaches, their advice, number one advice, I have talked to a lot of them, just picking their brains at events, going up to them, getting out of my comfort zone. Personal development has always been number one, and there's no secret sauce at all. They just work so stinking hard at the basics, and they keep their mind right. This isn't rocket science what we're doing, guys. We're just helping people get healthy, fit, and fit, sharing our lifestyle as a coach, and duplicating. It's all about duplicating the basics. GoPro always said that. Duplicate the basics over and over again. My last tip is spew confidence in our products and the business, right? If you don't have confidence in your selfie, right? If you don't have confidence in sharing the opportunity on the phone, what this has done for you or for your upline, or, sharing your story with conviction, how is anybody going to believe you, right? Why would someone want to join someone that doesn't have confidence compared to someone that has major confidence? So that you can get from personal development. That comes with time and growth and mindset and all of that. But, I kind of like and dislike the saying, fake it till you make it. Well, in the beginning, I didn't have much confidence. That's why I joined this. I didn't believe in myself much, right? All the reasons that people join Beachbody is why I joined. Financial, fitness, mental, everything. But I believed in myself a little bit and had a little confidence, and people started to catch on to that. I want that confidence. I want to feel the way she does. Did I fake it sometimes? Yes, I did. But you want to spew confidence in the business and our fitness. If you don't believe in the business part and you're lukewarm about that, why would someone want to join your business opportunity? They're going to go find another business opportunity if they want to make extra money. Just have confidence that you are on the right train with the right people, doing the right things. You guys have we're a part of an amazing team, Diesel Nation. Everybody tells me that we are so blessed, so lucky. Every event I go to and I talk to random coaches, I hear that over and over and over. We're a part of one of the best teams in the network. So I have confidence in that. I tell people all the time, we're a top team in the network. How cool is that to say it? Like, Becky and Christina, they're what, like 50, 60, 70? That's awesome. I brag about that. We're the top 50 team in the network. Like, I don't get too specific, but, that's something to take a lot of pride in. And people want to join that, right? They don't know details. oh my gosh, like we're part of a millionaire club team. Like it's true. It's not lying. That's confidence in what we have. Like the fitness programs, if I'm talking on the phone, my body has never been like this. My life has completely changed. That confidence, people, they buy that. They don't buy just, the infomercial picture. They buy, wow, I want my life to be changed, so the confidence part is really big. My last just little advice to you guys is that you can't give up. During those hard times, can't give up, even though maybe you want to run away and you give up. It's going to pay off. The little effort every single day, even when life gets hard and you just want to put this on the back burner, which I see so many people do, and it drives me insane. You can't. Don't put it on the back burner. You're going to regret it. You're going to regret doing that. I would have regretted it a long time ago. What if I quit a year in or 2 years in? I mean, my family would not be financially where we are today after 4 years, if I would have quit during a hard time. You got to put your blinders on, put your head down, stay in faith, know that you are here for a reason. If there is a will, there is a way for you to accomplish it here. So that's all I got. I hope I inspired you and gave you some great practical ways to not give up, not be sidetracked by life and by things. That this is a life-changing journey.
Wow. Wow, that was absolutely incredible. I hope you were all paying attention and hearing the constant stream of gold that was just coming from Danielle. That was incredible. I was taking notes like a mad person on my phone. So thank you so much. I know we want to I don't want to keep you too long because you still have your power hour to do. And I think that all of those tips that you were sharing of the 12, 13 things you told us at the end, holy crap. You just gave us a mega training tonight on what it takes to be a top coach. And just thank you so much. A couple of things that stood out to me was about getting your spouse on board. That is something that I know a lot of people in our team struggle with, is not having the support of their family. And so you just did that by proving him wrong. Is that really what you did?
Yep, that was my goal every day is during my workouts, I'm going to prove to him that this works, because that was his big thing. I want to see you get results. I want to see that, this is going to say what it says it's going to do, so that was a really big motivator. That's really awesome.
You can't be successful if you're lukewarm. That is genius. I took notes on everything that you said, so I will post it in the team event. Would you mind sharing with us your favorite personal development books?
Well, Dani Johnson, that's the first person who comes to my mind, because even in the First Steps to Wealth per se, she talks about how do you form somebody and how do you build relationships. And if you want to be successful, this is what it's going to take. And that book always stuck out to me. I read EntreLeadership, Dave Ramsey, amazing. I've learned how to be an awesome leader from him. I'm still working on being a great leader too. I feel like you're never a pro at it. You're always learning and improving. But that book was a big game changer as to, it just opened my eyes as to what we do as leaders and how to attract, that family community that he talks about. But hands down, the best book I ever read for this business, I would say, is Dani Johnson. Of course, I read faith devotional books every day, and there's so many different ones. That's just what fuels my fire and keeps me going, mentally and spiritually. But as far as for this business, I would say the 10X rule and First Steps to Wealth. And go for no. Definitely go for no. I think, did Carl Deichler talk about that on the National Wake Up Call yesterday? Was it?
I think
he
so.
Mentioned a book. I think it was
what was it? It was spin sales or something like that. And I was like, well, the sales of that book just went through the roof. So
yeah, maybe it was that one.
Sure. What's the name of the book that you're reading now that you said is a devotional book?
It's called The Best Yes.
The best yes.
Lisa something. She's written many, many faith-based books, but it's just the best yes. I love that. It's like everything I need to hear as a busy mom, a wife, working, on social media. She talks about it all because that's her role in life. She's a mom, she's a wife, she works, she does her business on social media, and it just, everything she says just speaks to me. It's like, wow, I needed to hear this. Wow, I needed to hear that.
I think books like that are really great, even if you aren't a faith-based person, because you can still get all of those little inspirational nuggets from that and just frame it in your own perspective, and you're going to grow. I think that's awesome.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I could just talk to you for days and days. This is
You're
so
sweet.
Does anybody else have any questions? You just feel free to unmute yourself. Anybody? Danielle, I'm the one that always asks questions on every call, so.
Oh, that's fine.
She's on it. Mindy said, what was that you read, Danielle? Oh, can you post in our event page the thing you read to us, that your post you had read to us?
Yeah.
That you posted a few days ago? Because that was really amazing. And like Mindy was messaging me right then, get her to post that. And I was already typing it out for myself.
Yeah, I love it. I read that. That was the last, it was not yesterday's devotion, but it was the one yesterday or the day before.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. I'm like, wow, I need to share this. As soon as she asked me, I thought in my head, this would be just a great little nugget. So I'm posting it now.
I love it. Thank you so much. Guys, this is a beautiful opportunity to learn from somebody who has been through the struggles. So if you have a question, throw your hand up or put it in the chat and I'll read it. I know another thing I was wondering about, Danielle, is you talked a lot about showing up every day, even though you were going through life struggles, and you went through some crazy life struggles. Were you sharing that as part of your story? Or were you kind of keeping that to the background?
No, I've shared it many times. I've shared it on calls and on social media that, life has happened. And what has gotten me through is my faith, yes. Staying strong and personal development. But that this journey, I've definitely mentioned several times that it has helped me, stay busy, keep my mind occupied in a very healthy way, to get through those times. It was almost like my medicine and my therapy, during those times to dig into this. It was a distraction that I needed, a healthy distraction. It was my medicine, actually, instead of getting on anxiety medicine. So yeah, I've shared it several times. And I encourage other people that are going through hard times. And that could be a great way to show people that, look, you can still go through hard times as a coach and build your business. And I've shared that, look, I'm 8 months pregnant, or I'm, pregnant or whatever, going through this and still making it work. So it doesn't disqualify anybody from coaching. Because a lot of people think, of course, you have to be perfect and be a nutritionist and, look a certain way. No, you can be pregnant. You can be going through hard times. You could be losing it. You could be stressed, but this can be the solution for you. This can be kind of therapy to distract you from whatever you're going through.
That's awesome. I love that. Like it's a healthy distraction. It's like such a good thing to do, because as somebody who has dealt with anxiety and depression, as I know a lot of us on our team have, we're all kind of recovering people, right? And something that is like a healthy way for your mind to spin on is a much better solution than all those crazy negative thoughts.
Yep.
Let's see. Ashley wanted to know, what do you do when your family says you should give up?
No. My in-laws were the ones that were really unsupportive, so it was extra hard for me. I always look at it as the other person saying something. They have problems. They have issues. For them to go and actually tell you to go give up and quit, like really? They're the ones with the problems and the issues. So if I were you, I would block them out, put your blinders on, dig into personal development, and go tell them they need to read a personal development book or even send them one, because that's just wrong. You're doing something for your health, for your fitness, for your family's future financially, and if they don't understand that, then they're not very supportive, and you don't need to be hearing that. My in-laws, they were unsupportive in the sense that they just thought it was bizarre that I was sharing my life on social media, because they're very private people. So they would just talk behind my back, that is this going to work out? How long is this going to last? And again, that was more motivation for me to prove them wrong. So my best advice is prove them wrong, honey. Look freaking amazing. Get that six pack. Make a lot of money, of course with the right intentions. But screw them. Like, this is your life. I was doing it and am doing it for my girls and for my future baby and Justin. Nobody else matters. At the end of the day, you sleep in your four walls, right, with your family. It doesn't matter. Forget about that. Don't listen to the negative voices. I feel like if you're on the road to success, there's always going to be some voice steering you off and wanting to just, not see you happy, not, see that this is going to work for you. It's like I say the little devil over here doesn't want it to work and, saying crazy things. And then you have this angel God over here that's always encouraging and positive, and you think, what if over here? But then, what about the negative? Go with the positive, because the positive works. It can work if you tune out this little devil over here.
That's awesome. I think you're totally right, because I made a post today for my Transformation Tuesday about how the old Robin would have hated this Robin. I would have been like, I hate your posts. I hate your shake. I hate your workouts. I hate your positive thoughts. I would have hated everything about you. And I would have told you how much I hate you.
That's a good post. I like that idea.
You should do it. I think everybody on this call should do it. Talk about how the old person would have hated you, because they probably would. And I would have blocked me. I would have unfriended me. I would have never talked to me after I had told me off, And that's just the thing. It's that's the mind shift that we're trying to share. It's not just about workouts. It's not just about a shake. It's about your entire life being better and being more positive and being just the freaking awesome person you were put here to be. So
totally.
Does anybody else have any questions? I have to say, you were just amazing tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. This was an incredible call that I think that we're going to have to review a lot. And like I said, I took a lot of notes, so I'll share those with everybody. And just thank you. I mean, especially being 8 months pregnant, you must be exhausted. You have your family that you're already taking care of, your business, your people, and then you gave us all this amazing time. Thank you. It's incredible.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Let's all touch base about Team Cup later this week. Good luck, Danielle. I'm sure you're on a team. Good luck, everybody, and have a fantastic night. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.